Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Two Idiots Reading Comics. This week is episode 30. We're going to talk about X-O Manowar Volume 1. Thank you for coming back and being with us again. As always, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, wherever you listen to us. You can find us on YouTube and anywhere you listen to podcasts at Two Idiots Reading Comics. Also, like our pages on Twitter and Instagram at Two Idiots RC. And again, we're on Facebook now with our Facebook group, where hopefully we can find more people to follow us, and that's at Two Idiots Reading Comics. So let's get into it. Let's have fun.
And welcome to episode 30. I waited for you to look down.
You mother.
I was like, well, what's going to be the most awkward? Like, he's going to snap his neck up? No. But yeah, episode 30. X-O Manowar by the Sword. By Valiant Comics.
Yeah.
It's a up and coming, or I guess when this was coming out, they were up and coming. They're pretty good. They won Publisher of the Year like 2 years in a row in the mid to late 2010s. They've got a cool list of like superheroes, but today we're reading X-O Manowar.
This isn't our first Valiant comic,
Yes.
is it? Really?
It is.
Oh, all right.
What did you think was?
I honestly don't know. I'm sitting here thinking,
We've read a few
was 100
Vertigo.
Bullet? What was 100 Bullets?
That's Vertigo.
Oh, that must be what I'm
Yeah.
thinking about. But again, like on Rebirth, we got a lot of artists. I've got a lot
Do
of
we?
cover artists.
That's what. Hands up when I said we're gonna list everyone on that front page. I'm gonna be honest. I meant writer, penciler, ink, colors, and letters. You literally write every name.
But we talked about giving
Kudos to
everybody
you.
credit.
I should have. Yep, that's on me. But I usually just stick. I should probably add editor, but cover art. It's like its whole thing. There are people who make their profession just off cover art because it's kind of like there's whole companies that make their living off of making movie trailers. But I tend to leave those off. But since you have everybody, you can go ahead and do it.
So our writer is Robert Venditti, penciler Kari Nord,
Carrie Nord.
Cary, inker
Stefanos.
Oh wow, yeah, can't even read my own writing. Stefano Gaudiano.
Guardiano.
Colorist Moose Ballman, letterer Dan Lanfear, cover artist Asad Ribic, Carrie Nord, David Aja, and Jelena Kevik Jurjevic for one, Jelena Kevik Jurjevic, and Arturo Lasso for number 2. Same Jelena and Miko Swan for 3, Doug Braithwaite and Don Kramer for 4, assistant editor Josh Johns, associate editor Jody Letliep, and executive editor Warren Simmons.
Take a breath.
Forgot how hard those names were.
Yeah.
Sorry if I butchered anybody's names. If any of y'all are watching, you know who you are. So thank you.
Well, yeah, so I've said it before on the show. This is a big premise book.
Yep.
60, like your elevator pitch. It is a not ancient, but like guy from the AD time. Yeah, 400 AD gets taken on a ship for years, traveling at light speed, steals or gets a futuristic alien armor, comes back to Earth, but since it's been traveling so far, so fast, by the time he gets back to Earth, he's in modern times.
Right. 1,600 years plus have
Yeah,
passed.
16 centuries.
Yeah.
So, prehistoric dude.
Not prehistoric.
Old ass dude. Future armor set in modern times.
Yeah. And except for this one, for volume 1, we get him in barbarian times,
Yes.
and then in the alien ship for most everything, and he's in our time for a very short
Yeah, but going forward,
he'll
be in our time,
yeah,
in modern day.
Really cool story.
Mm-hmm.
Again, big setup to everything.
Yes.
You've read this more than I have, so
This is my second time reading this. I got very big into their Valiant for a little bit there. After shout out, hopefully for another show, Variant Comics. They did like a whole week on Valiant stuff.
Yeah.
And Exo Manowar is the one they pitched, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta read that one. But yeah, this is very cool. Auric is the main character. His uncle was the king of the Visigoths, and they were fighting with the Romans. Basically, they hothead Auric. This is very much like the early Thor, where he's the hothead that wants to win battles and stuff like that.
Because he is way outnumbered. I mean, the Romans literally are firing ballistas, which are flaming
catapults.
Yeah, flaming balls from a catapult. Also, firing pretty much iron rods at them from like crossbows, like literally like 8 foot tall arrows being shot in the air, and his people are just being destroyed. They're wandering around with very poorly forged swords, wooden shields, just getting wrecked.
Yeah.
No chance in hell. This is northern Italy. I mean, you're no chance in hell of beating the Romans at this time.
No.
And like you said, he's a hothead. He thought charging in would be what would do it, and
didn't work out. They have to retreat. Turns out his entire family is either murdered or kidnapped.
Father ends up being stabbed in the gut, saving Auric's life.
Yeah.
Ends up dying in the bed. Mother and wife captured. No children. His uncle, I think, even gets hurt.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, his version, what he thinks are Romans, show up in a spaceship with medieval armor on, but it's
armor.
It looks. It kind of looks like a medieval knight. And then tries to fight them as well.
Yes, and gets taken captive, forced to be a slave on their gigantic ass battleship. But these aliens, I think, are called the Vine.
Yep.
Worship the Shannara. No, that's Alexander Shannara.
Shanhara.
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 Armor. And it's kind of like Mjolnir, where like it has to be chosen and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's killing like every alien they put into it. But then Auric stages a rebellion. They think that's the armory, but it's actually
literally
like a temple.
It's a temple. It's a priest temple.
The suit picks him. He fights off, but
regrows his
technically
hand.
Technically hasn't rescued his people yet. I'm pretty sure that's in volume 2.
Oh yeah. Right now he literally stages a rebellion, which has dozens of different humans from the 400s. You see like someone from Africa, an Indian, Mediterranean, everybody, and everyone dies.
Yeah. Well, they're staging a rebellion. I'm pretty sure there are more back in like the farm area.
That would make sense, yeah.
If I'm remembering correctly. But a guy puts 2 explosives on him thinking that'll stop the suit. Sets off a chain reaction, blows up the side of the ship. Auric's outside of the spaceship, and he's thinking, I got to get to Rome to save my family. And so the suit sends him to Rome.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, and then he shows up in present day. People are like, what the fuck is this? They start attacking him.
Dude,
he starts fighting back because he thinks it's the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
And I guess the suit has a way of tapping into technology or something, because he said, where am I? Or someone said, Rome is not an empire.
Yeah.
It's just a city.
Yeah.
And basically he starts seeing flashes of everything that has happened. He's like, I've been gone for 16 centuries.
Yeah. The fall of the Roman Empire,
Yeah.
the Crusades,
Yes.
then the World War II, all of it. And,
yeah.
Oof.
And then, so he flies away. But what they tease in the first issue is these aliens aren't just taking people captive.
Yeah.
They're replacing human babies with alien babies. And now at the end of issue 4, the aliens are trying to reclaim it because they still think it's a sacred armor.
Right.
And so they said, reclaim it at all costs, or reclaim it. Can't do that. Just destroy it.
Yeah.
And
which destroying it is gonna be tough.
Yeah. And so the aliens send a message back to the aliens that grew up on Earth, and they're like, "Look, it's there. You need to try to use your influence to reclaim it." And that's kind of where you leave off in this volume. But I feel like we have to recap these these indie ones more because I have a feeling they're less likely to be read.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, it's a cool story. You should definitely check it out if you haven't. But what were your thoughts on it?
All right.
Now that I've rambled on.
The time jump got me a little bit. When they take him up to take Arik to the ship, the Vine ship, they slice off his hands. Then the next page or two, it goes. It's been years.
Yeah,
but he doesn't look like he's aged.
He's just
that much.
Yeah, he's just like hair's gotten real long, and that's where like they kept talking about how they didn't feed him. That was kind of an issue. Is like, well, humans can't survive that long if they're not eating.
Right, because in the first 2 days...
Now, they did say what they do with the remains of the people who fall out is barbaric. So I don't know if they were feeding them to the other ones or what.
Oh.
Made them cannibalist or something. Because they weren't allowed to eat the plants that were growing.
Well, they weren't plants. They were children.
See...
When Art gets his hand chopped off, one of the guys picks a purple pod off of a plant and eats it.
But I thought they said...
Then the farmer, like the alien farmer, comes over and says, "I'm sorry, my child," digs it. You feed the ground to grow again.
But I thought they worshipped plants. That's why they're called the vine. At some point, I can't remember if it was the alien that said, "I don't give a damn about your flowers," or if it was one of the humans being like, "I don't know why they worship flowers."
It was one of the humans. One of the humans said, "I don't understand."
Maybe, I don't know. But I was like, well, if they came from flowers, why would they look like cockroaches? I don't know.
All right, that got confusing.
So I don't know. I don't know if they come from flowers. I don't know how they would look like that. But maybe, who knows? I don't think they spend too much time on it.
Either way,
Volume 2.
But that was wild. And then the whole time I was expecting. Sorry, it sounded like my dog was in the front yard.
Yeah.
It seemed like, all right, when he goes back, 10 years will have passed. 15 years will have passed.
Yeah.
And he goes back, 1,600 years have passed. And then a little part of me went,
because they were traveling at the speed of light.
Yeah, a little part of me went, oh, I was looking forward to him beating some Romans to death.
No.
Like.
Okay, something that stood out to me, that scene where like he was in bed with his wife.
Yes.
They showed a lot of boob with no nipples there. Either she has,
they
have very, very, very low nipples, or they just didn't not to draw.
And then just put a blanket right at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to just put it here.
I didn't notice that until, but I was like, this morning, I was reading it this morning, I was like, there is not a lot of room for a nipple on that boob.
No.
You didn't expect that, did you?
No, I didn't. Either way, really cool. Again, another world builder. So it's kind of hard. There's not a lot to really talk about other than,
like I said, well, this is only 4 issues, but
yeah,
it is pretty good. Art's really good too.
Yeah, for this to be just an indie comic, it's compared to some of what we've read, this is some better artwork from these guys.
Yeah. I remember there was a time where I was gonna I think they've got too many characters that have their own books now, but there was one of I think they pick an event I think they stop all books
for Valiant
Variant Valiant. When they do a summer event, they stop all books just so you can read the event, which kudos. I think everyone should do that.
Yeah, because Marvel and DC sure as hell don't. They just keep building
they power
off
through
of
it. But they have it of one event. Basically, the whole premise of it is someone brought back a history book, a history textbook.
Oh, you've told me about
from the future.
Yeah.
And so everybody's fighting over this book to find out what happens to them.
That's pretty cool.
And I told myself I was gonna hammer through all these variant books to get to that. And then money came into the equation.
Now there's bukus upon bukus of variant books now.
I like other notable.
Valiant,
they just had
not variant.
Yeah, they just had a Bloodshot is one of their characters. They
just got a movie with
Vin Diesel movie.
Yeah,
that I think there is
didn't do well.
Someone's work.
Well, it also was COVID, so no one could go to the movie theaters.
Just it's kind of I don't know how you market a comic book movie as this is a superhero movie,
but it's not.
But it's
Marvel
not DC or Marvel,
so
and it's not even Image. But
yeah, so please come on. It's kind of it's hard.
I haven't watched it.
I haven't either.
At some point, I don't know. But they have like other notable characters, like Bloodshot just got a movie. I think someone's working on X-O Manowar as far as like TV wise. I don't know who.
Amazon might be a good idea.
Yeah, I think it is Amazon.
HBO wouldn't touch it.
They're
tied
have the
with
rights
Warner
to all of
Brothers and DC. Yeah.
They have a really cool Ninjask. I think it's pretty cool. I think I read a couple issues of that. They have a book called Faith, which is about a plus-sized girl as a superhero who can fly. There's one I think is like actually pretty funny. It's called Quantum and Woody. It's like an adventure book. Yeah.
Kind of sounds fun.
Yeah. And then one called Eternity. They have a bunch of cool stuff. It's just you have to get past the fact that you're not reading something that has just years and years and years of.
Right. I mean, you're talking what, 18 at the best years?
I don't know. See, I watched an interview with the guys from Valiant Comics. Valiant used to be a thing like back in the old school days.
Really?
Like the 70s and 80s. Oh. Back when there was like just a shit ton of comic
book
publishers.
Everybody was fighting for the
went out of business, and the two guys who are like head of it now bought it in like early 2000, like late 2000s.
Yeah.
Early teens. They bought the rights to it for cheap, and they relaunched everything.
Okay. All right.
X-O Manowar and all that. But like I said, they won Publisher of the Year like 2 years in a row during the mid to late 2010s. So it's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah.
They got some cool characters and some really just awesome premises that I just haven't had time to check out.
All right. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard.
I feel like I've rambled and you haven't talked a whole lot.
No, I mean, hell, I ramble most episodes. Just give you something to do. But yeah, I mean, this one, it's hard to talk about much about this one because
reading this one, do you feel compelled to actually go buy a second one, or would you be more, if it's free, I'd check it out if I had some spare time?
You're talking about Volume 2?
Yeah. Did it make you want to buy Volume 2?
For Volume, I really want to read Volume 2, but if it's free, I'll probably go do it sooner rather than later.
No, I think.
But pay like if it's free, then yes. If I would do it sooner. But if it's buy it, it would probably go on one of those wish lists that never get fulfilled type deals.
Now I will say, when we say free, me and you are both Comixology Unlimited members.
Yeah, $5.99 a month. I get that off of 3 issues, and it pays for itself.
If you don't already read comics online, there's a service by Amazon called Comixology. I think it's like $6 a month.
$5.99.
They have like, I think DC has taken a lot of theirs off, but on most like every run, you get like
at least Volume 1.
At least Volume 1. Yeah. I think on East of West you get like the first half of that entire run.
First 4 of the 9 are free.
Yeah. and you can borrow them.
I mean,
so you technically can read them for free.
And you're talking about, you're talking about $10 to $15 volumes for $5.99 a month.
Yeah,
it pays for itself for me.
I mean, it's awesome. Like when there's months that me and you are kind of hurting on money.
Yeah,
we tell each other like, look, we need some borrows on this one.
Yeah, but it's Comixology Unlimited, and
I would imagine a lot of the early Valiant stuff is free. I'm pretty sure it is.
The Thor run, it's Marvel. Its first 4 are already free on there. First
the
4
Donny
issues.
Cates store?
Yeah, new Donny Cates. 4 or 5. The Star Wars first 4 or 5 are free on there.
You don't have to tempt me with a good time, even though I've already read it all.
Yeah, I've read it multiple times.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've done a lot more, like you were saying, getting Marvel off, but it's done a lot more.
DC has taken a lot of and
DC's come off a good bit.
Like why'd you take the New 52 off? Like,
is this not even on there?
No, I mean it's
all
of these are on there.
Oh, you're talking about for the borrowed?
The borrow stuff. Yeah. Like a lot of their New 52 stuff is off. Now, if we're not sponsored by this, we should add that in.
Yeah, it's not sponsored.
We wish we were, but I think if you're like trying to read up to date comic books, they either wait 3 or 6 months until they go on Comixology. Yeah. So you're not going to get the most up to date, but you can get a whole lot
for free.
Value.
I mean, you can get the Thor and all those. I get them day of paying for it.
Yeah, true.
And it's a 15% off. So
yeah. But yeah. If you don't have a comic book shop around you, you can always do Marvel and DC have their own apps. I think there are some other publishers that have their own apps. Image is completely only on Comixology now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I tapped their app the other day just to see what was going on.
It's dead.
And it said this app no longer operates. So.
Damn.
But yeah. That was just a random 5-minute Comixology rant, but
and not a sponsor, so
yeah. But yeah, so go check out Valiant. They do a lot of good work, a lot of cool crossover stories, like I said. But we actually don't know what we're reading next month or next week. We haven't picked it yet.
It is true. We have not picked anything.
Yep.
We know what we're reading for the 3rd book of February. Venom 2.
Yeah, we know we're running Venom 2.
But hopefully we'll know by the time y'all listen to this, and we'll have it out on the.
By the time we'll
already have this out on Instagram. Yeah, we'll have this out already on Instagram and Twitter and everywhere else that you follow us and subscribe and like and share and all the fun, wonderful algorithm stuff.
Yeah. So no preview for next week, but we will definitely see you next week.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.